welcome to Gintama, Season 3, I guess you could say Episode 3 or 268, depending which one you go with. And the title is Inspector's Love Begins with an Inspection. And I have one of the new blood with me today, and it's Samsura.
Hello, hello. It is a pleasure to be here with you, Fosh.
Oh, thanks, man. It was, it's great to see, someone who's just into Gintama as much as me and Kyo and Anaga are. We pretty much like the show. It's always
With,
always a treat.
Without a doubt, this is the best show, the best manga, I should say, running in Shonen Jump right now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of anything else that's... It basically hits every mark that I think makes a great show.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we're going to do our top 5 moments. I'm going to jump right with mine. Is everyone's favorite N-Pan detective, Sagararu. He's back. And if you don't know this character, he's basically... I guess he is like grunt of the Shinsengumi. He does all the stuff no one else wants to do. Such as stake out. And that's what he's doing outside of Gintoki's house. Just kind of stalking the place. And all he does is eat N-Pan for like a long time.
He's basically the guy that is the one and only spy for all the Shinsengumi.
Right,
there was
yeah.
a time when he had to, if you remember, he had to sneak into Katsura's How to Be a Terrorist seminar.
Yep.
When he, I believe it was Jackie Chan. They just partnered him with Jackie Chan for some reason.
Right, I think I remember that, yeah.
All I remember is they made a lot of jokes about Jackie Chan's new nose.
Right, yeah. So that was my number 5. What was your number 5?
Alright, my number 5 was... It's the little things that make Gintama great for me. So, for instance, there was the little subtitles right after Tama puked out that non-manja vomit. They had those little subtitles reassuring us, this is manja. So every time Yamazaki's like, what is this? What could this be? Subtitles, it's manja. Are you sure? Are you sure? It's manja. Oy.
Yeah, that whole thing. That's one thing Gintama loves to do is just play with a lot of puke. I mean, when they first jumped in back in the new season, they had boogers. They had all kinds of stuff, so they're not afraid to. I think
Gintama has some very creative pixelation.
Oh yeah, they do. They love to use the rainbow puke. That's the one thing they love using.
Yeah, and they always love pixelating people's genitals too.
That too, yeah, definitely. My number 4 would be Tama. It's the best robot girl. I guess maybe the only robot girl I think in Gintama. But yeah, if you don't know this character, she's kind of a weird character. She's like I guess the maid of the group, I guess you could say. And she doesn't really get a lot of screen time, but when she does, she has some funny lines.
I mean, what's great about Tama is that there is nothing that ever can possibly face her.
That's true, yeah. It's very true.
Because it's like, obviously, if you watch Gintama, you know it's heavily inspired by the Tsukome Bokeh type of comedy. But Tama's like, even when she says something stupid, which is pretty rare, but when she does, like, she never blinks an eye. Can her eyes even blink? I don't know. But she's always deadly serious, which makes her very unique amongst the cast of people yelling at the top of their lungs.
Right, yeah, so she is the most serious out of all the characters. I do remember an arc where she was, I guess they had took her head off or something, and she had the body of like an old school Gundam. Made me laugh.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
And of course, in the movie, she had the camera head on for half the movie.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, but like she's always perfectly calm, which makes her a very refreshing character in this show.
Oh yeah, definitely. What was your number 4?
My number 4 was Yamazaki's Stalker Notebook.
Oh god, yeah.
Where he just would write Tama-san, 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 Tama-san for pages on end, which is, and we remember the last time he had a stakeout, he wrote Anpan for pages on end, so it's like Anpan, 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 Tama-san, 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 Tama-san.
Right.
It creeped Kondo out so much. And I loved Hijikata's joke about, man, the Shinsengumi is just full of stalkers, isn't it?
Right, he was talking about you should go to soccer class with him or something.
Oh boy. And that leads into your number 3.
Right, Kondo using Sagaru basically to stalk him, and I think he's trying to keep an eye on Shinpachi's sister as well, because he's always into her.
Pretty sure it was actually Hijikata. He was like, yeah, let's frame Gintoki for some crime that he committed 20 years ago.
Right, yeah, I mean, they've been after him for a long time. He always just, they're keeping an eye on him. They want to make sure he's not up to something, but yeah, they're always stalking him or just, watching him and making sure he's not doing something, but yeah, I thought it was funny that he's just there the whole time and then realizes that Tom was there and he started stalking her instead. It was kind of a funny thing.
It was great. Like the first few days, he would talk about oh, nothing's happening at the Yorozuya, and Tama sounds really beautiful today. And then like a few days later, it's like Tama sounds really beautiful today. Like he doesn't even bother to pretend he's caring about the Yoruzuya anymore.
Right, yeah.
I
Uh,
always say that word wrong.
oh, that's fine. What was your number three? I like that. I like your number three. It's fun.
My number three was Gintoki and Kagura's like husband-wife banter, and they must have planned this out beforehand because they knew going in like, oh, we got this gag going down. So like Gintoki would be like, "Oh, Ka-san, can you believe these vulgar people? How dare they?" And then she'd
Right.
be like, Kagura would be like, "Ho ho ho ho, ho 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 ho,"
Yeah, it
just
makes
like
me
that.
makes you wonder how much they allow the actors to do some improv. Because it seems like with those two characters, especially, I would imagine them being in the acting booth together, just goofing off, messing around, and that maybe the
I mean,
studio going, hey, we could actually use that in the episode.
I mean, it was it's who's her voice actor?
Uh,
Rie something?
Ri Kukumiya.
Yeah, her, like, she's always, like, that character, that fairly young, somewhat high-pitched character,
Hmm.
but you could really, like, tell she was playing around with that when she was doing the wife impression.
Right, so that's how whenever it's her and Sugata for Gintoki's voice, they
Hmm.
they play around sometimes. I bet, because I know all three of them, especially Shinpachi, they're all pretty much really good friends. So I can see them doing that, just doing some ad libbing, and then they're putting that in
And you
there.
fig and you figure after 200 episodes of working on the same show with the same three people, they gotta have some kind of rapport build up.
Right, yeah, I would agree on that. And my number two would be Okada kind of helps Sagaru. He's trying to help him, basically trying to get him with Tommy. He's trying to hook him up. And he's just
Hmm.
like, I just love when he walked in there saying, "Give us your sex bot," and they're like, she's not one of those." Even Kagura is just like, "No, you're too good for him." That's pretty
And
funny.
don't forget his very special wink that was so bloodshot.
Oh yeah, that was kind of creepy. Yeah, it's like I don't
Yeah,
think he's very good at being sneaky. Oh
Yeah,
my
and
god.
in that whole scene when Okita is trying to set him up, like, you have Yamazaki looking through a window being all stalkery. He's like, oh great, he's just throwing me off the deep end. Thanks a lot, Okita.
Right, so he kind of doesn't really help him, but he's just trying to. It seems like he's trying to get back at him. I think those two characters don't really get along very much, but it was just funny just seeing him try to basically hook his
Yeah.
friend up, which didn't really go as planned, I would say.
And I love the part where Gintoki is like, okay, sure, we'll meet up but at a fancy restaurant and you guys are paying. And Okita's like, yeah, sure, whatever. No matter what happens, Yamazaki owes me big time for this. So it's like, you guys are the real shitbags. Can I say
Pretty,
that?
yeah, it's fine. It
Okay, good.
is pretty much true. They just, yeah, they messed him up pretty badly. But what was your number two?
All right, my number two was the completely ridiculous grading
Oh
criteria
god, yeah.
because the first time it's like Shinpachi grading him on the Tsukomes because he takes pride in being a straight man,
Mhm.
and then it's like Hijikata just butts in and it's like, man, you gave him a tissue instead of a handkerchief. That's like 40 points.
You're right. It's absurd grading system they're using.
No, but even better, it's like Shinpachi's reading his mind for his retorts. It's like, that's the same retort you used last time. You suck at being a straight man.
Right. It's pretty funny. So now we're down to number ones. Mine was the puke moments. They had Tama basically, she's preparing food, and how she does is very unique. She eats the food and kind of pukes it back up, and that's her way of cooking. And I love how they kind of messed with Sakura the whole time. They're like, "You gonna eat it?" Like, and then the other guy puts mayonnaise on it. He's like, "Oh, there you go. Now you can eat it." And it just made it worse. So it's just like, oh, he tried everything he could to get out of eating it. That's funny.
And I mean, I already mentioned this, but the puke is completely pixelated, and the best part is the characters in the show notice it's pixelated. Like
Yeah.
Yamazaki sees it and says, "Why is this pixelated? Can this be eaten by human beings?"
Yeah.
And then all the other characters start puking as well.
Oh yeah, they're like, "Here, I made some for you too." I was like, "Oh my god, it's not gonna stop." It was
Yeah.
just funny to see in that, just them kind of, I guess, play along with the whole joke and just to
And then
see,
again,
yeah. Oh god, it was
and then again, Shinpachi pukes in the middle of making a comeback.
right. Even put it in the bags for him too. I'm like, oh
They're
Jesus,
they're so generous.
right. And now, what was your number one?
All right, my number one was it was actually Tama's pep talk in the very beginning.
Mhm.
Because after Yamazaki bought like 50 pieces of Anpan that destroyed one of those checkout machines, she's like she gives it a pep talk. It's like, no, it's okay. You're not just some cog in the machine of capitalist society. You're an individual scanner machine, and everybody knows and appreciates you for that.
Yeah, that's very funny.
And just like Yamazaki's crying, he's like, "Yes, I'm not just a cog in the machine. Tama-san, I feel so much better thanks to you."
Yeah, he thought she was talking to him. It was pretty funny.
And then at the very end, she gives like another pep talk, gives him a piece of vomited up anpan. And Yamazaki's like, "Yes, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be a better person."
Yeah, all over, and she kind of just was kind of standing there like, I guess that kind of disturbed her. She was just,
You never, you never see her face, but like you see her pull out her mop. That's her signature weapon, I guess.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she might be a very calm person, but she's not cool with being puked on.
Yeah, like I don't think even anyone who's very calm is like to be puked on or anything. But so overall, I mean, this was a funny episode, I would say. You got anything like
Yeah.
last minute things to add? Maybe something you forgot?
Well, I feel like it's good to remember at least one spectacular line from the show that's better than all the others.
hmm
And for me, that was, "Tama, I want to arrest your eyes,"
That was pretty
which
funny.
is the best pickup line that I will most certainly never use in real life.
Pretty much, yeah. It was pretty funny seeing
Yeah, but
that.
other than that, I can't think of anything that I want to bring up.
Yeah, this was I think we're going to continue on with these comedy episodes for a bit. I am curious when they start doing the serious stuff, because that's when Gintama, the tone kind of shifts. And
Well, the
it's
thing
very
is, like,
surprising.
you never jump directly into the serious, super serious episodes. They're always like half the episode is really funny, and then something serious goes down.
hmm Yeah,
'Cause, like, I don't
they're
know.
They're pretty good at that, keeping it kind of lively,
You
and then
think
they
of
hit you with the serious stuff.
Yeah, you think of like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
That
yeah.
turned pretty serious, but it started with a lot of Star Wars jokes that were completely ridiculous.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I remember that arc. Star Wars and Gundam. The weirdest crossover I've ever seen, but yeah, it worked, I guess, for
His
them.
name is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep, that's pretty good. But
Or was it Obi-Wan or Nissan? I
I
don't remember.
forget what they used for that, but it was pretty funny. But I guess that's pretty much for the episode. We'll probably see you guys next week for the third episode, or 269, I guess you could say. But yeah, so it was fun having Samsara with me this time, and we'll see you guys next week.
It was fun being here, Fosh. Have a great week, everybody.
Yep.